Welcome to the Flex Rental Solutions webinar for today. Today we're going to be talking about how we can create different workflow actions that can trigger multiple events. So just as a quick review of workflow and how workflow works, I've created this test quote here, and right now you can see that it is in inquiry status. Most systems, at least when we ship out Flex to our customers, we have it set up that the default financial document, which is usually a quote, is set up to begin in inquiry status. When you're in inquiry status, you have several different options to move backwards by canceling or move forward by setting to tentative or confirming the quote. And by default, typically when you confirm the quote, it will set up different options like flag as ready to invoice, create a pull sheet, reset to inquiry or tentative, etc. So some customers like to do each workflow action individually. So for example, they'll hit confirm quote, then they'll hit generate pull sheet, then they'll hit generate invoice, and that is the way that works best for them. Some people, on the other hand, would like to get all of those things out of the way with just one click. And so that's what we're going to look at, how we can set up today. To set up new workflow options, you'll go to your projects menu and then click workflow. And we're going to be looking at the quote workflow. Each element in Flex can have its own workflow options. Today we're just going to be looking at the quote. So, as we showed earlier, we start in the inquiry status with the quote. And these are the options that you can take when you're in inquiry status. So for example, if we click set to tentative on the quote, let's go back to the quote, and then click set to tentative. What it will do is throw out this email notification saying that this quote has been set to tentative status. Right now I don't have any users set up to receive this, but you can set up users by default to receive this. And then when I click OK, it will send out that email and it will change this quote to the tentative status. So if we go back to the workflow and look at setting to tentative, what we see happening is it's going from inquiry to tentative, and it is sending out the outflow job of quote set to tentative, which if we click on, we can see is that email template. Same thing if we go back to the quote, and if we were to click confirm quote, then we can look at we're currently in tentative status, and these are the things that happen when you click on confirm quote. It will go from tentative to the target state of confirmed and send out an email notification called quote confirmed. So the reason I wanted to show you that is because we want to create a new workflow job, and these email notifications are called workflow job. I want to create a new workflow job that is saying the quote has been both confirmed and a pull sheet has been generated. So what I'll do is, that was on projects, workflow jobs, and I'm going to click new simple email notification. And I'm more or less going to copy all of the attributes that come from the quote confirmed email notification, but I'm going to change a couple small things. But for now, I'm just going to copy and paste everything, and then we'll make some small adjustments in just a second. The name on this one, let's call it quote confirmed and pull sheet generated. Since this is just an internal notification that's only going to Flex users, the from address will be the no reply at Flex Rental Solutions. And the to addresses, of course, you can add whoever you want here. You could set up with your own email program an email group like ops for operations, or maybe your warehouse, something like that. Again, that's something that you would do outside of Flex with your own email program to set up an email group. But then here, let's add, this quote has been confirmed and a pull sheet has been generated. You can say the same thing here. And a pull sheet. The reason why I'm creating this new email notification is because, yes, there is already existing an email notification for quote confirmed, and there's one existing for a pull sheet has been generated. But if we're going to be tying both of these actions to one workflow action, I don't want to have to send out two emails. And so that's why I'm creating a single email that tells us that information in one email. So I have all that information filled. A lot of times you can throw a code in there. That's just a way that Flex will refer to this particular element within Flex. So you just say it's like the initials, quote confirmed, and pull sheet or something like that. So I'll click create. And if I reload my workflow jobs, you can see that I now have this email notification of quote confirmed and pull sheet generated. So what we'll do now, if we go back to our quote workflow, we want to decide in which states do we want to be able to have this option. So when we first create a quote and it's in inquiry status, do we want to have the option to confirm and generate the pull sheet from the inquiry status? Do you also want to have that option from the tentative status? There's no wrong or right way to do that. It's just, up to you and the needs of your company. So right now, let's actually set it up for both. So we'll double click on inquiry, and this will take us to the inquiry workflow path. And we're going to click on new workflow action. We're going to call this confirm and generate pull sheet. Oops. I usually say no on the confirm screen because most of the time I'm sending an email notification, so there's already one pop-up window. I don't want multiple pop-up windows when I'm going through my workflow actions. The source state is inquiry because we're currently in inquiry status. The target state is going to be confirmed. The change to type and the chained actions are not applicable to this particular example. We are going to set up a few outflow jobs though. So since this is confirming and generating a pull sheet, one of our outflow jobs will be pull sheet generator. So we'll select that and click add. And then we also want to send out the quote confirmed and pull sheet generated email notification. So we'll select that one and add it as well. Then we'll click create. And let's go ahead and set the same thing up for our tentative status. So we'll double click on tentative status, click new workflow action, and we're going to set it up exactly how we set it up for the inquiry status. The source state is tentative, target state confirmed, and then outflow jobs we're going to do, again, pull sheet generator, and the quote confirmed and pull sheet generated email notification. So now if we reload our quote workflow, you can see that the inquiry status now has the confirm and generate pull sheet, as well as the tentative status. I think I named that wrong. Confirm and I think I was thinking of the notification when I named this, but yeah, that is the correct name. So if we go back and reload, you can see that option is there for the tentative status as well. So let's actually go back to our quote. before anything, let's reset to inquiry, just so we can see when this quote is in inquiry status. Then we'll see that new workflow action of confirm and generate the pull sheet. And if we set it to tentative, we should see that same workflow option here. So right now, with the quote in tentative status, let's click on confirm and generate pull sheet. There's that email notification. I'll X those out right now so it doesn't actually get sent to anybody. And you can see that it's the new email template that we created that's saying it's confirmed and a pull sheet has been generated. So then when I click OK, that email will be sent. And you can see that the pull sheet has been generated. So it was both confirmed and pull sheet generated with only one click. So just to confirm that, we'll look at edit header, and we can see that the status is confirmed. Let me close a few of these windows, and I want to show you one more example of a way that you can chain two workflow jobs to one workflow action. Right now, when I'm in my confirm status, I have one workflow action that is called generate invoice. Excuse me. Just a question I'm seeing in the chat room. I think what's happening is just the way that my window is sharing through Join Me. Whenever I do my right click, so right now I just right clicked, I don't think that it's sharing this little pop-up window. And so you just aren't able to see that. But if you right click on any tab, you'll see an option that says reload this tab. So no, I'm not using a keyboard shortcut. I just think it looks like this window is hidden. So back to this example. When I'm in confirm status, I have the option to generate an invoice. Some people, now this would be ignoring the action that we just set up of confirming and generate a pull sheet. When someone's in a confirm status, they might want to create the pull sheet and generate an invoice at the same time. And so basically you would just do close to the same thing with just a couple of different options selected. So we would go to confirmed workflow path, create a new workflow action, and call it generate pull sheet and invoice. Again, you can have this set as yes or no. I usually have it as no. In this case, we would set it to invoice created. So it's going from confirmed to invoice created because I'm going to be generating both the pull sheet and the invoice. Again, these change to type and chained actions are not applicable, but in the outflow jobs, we would choose both invoice generator and the pull sheet generator. You might also want to go back to your workflow jobs and create an even newer, or a new workflow job called pull sheet and invoice has been generated with an email notification that informs all the recipients that both an invoice and pull sheet has been generated. So if I go back and reload, since this quote is currently in confirmed status, I should see that new workflow option. I've already generated a pull sheet, so when I do this, it will probably just refresh the pull sheet that's already been generated. But then you can see that it also created an invoice. So that is how you can chain several different workflow jobs excuse me, to one workflow action. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this and different ways you can utilize this. I just showed you a couple examples, but you can get as creative as you want to have different jobs happen as you activate each of these workflow actions. If you have any questions about this, please email support@flexrentalsolutions.com.